Hello, everyone. Welcome to the darkest dungeon.
The gloomiest day.
This is a gloomy episode. It is terrible weather.
Horrible.
Luckily, we didn't have to go anywhere today.
Or lose power.
Or we didn't lose power. I was sure we were going to lose power. So we may lose power during this episode. Who knows?
This episode might cut off. Well, surprise moment.
I have a dummy battery in the camera, so we will lose power. Hopefully, we don't lose the footage. I think it's passing us right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's why everything looks a little bit different. Bear with us.
We're not filming at night.
Yeah. No, it's
the middle of the day.
Noon.
It's noon.
Anyway, welcome to another episode. Thank you so much for all the love and support on the last episode.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new year. A little cafecito. I am having a terrible time waking up.
Yeah, you're struggling this
I don't
week.
know what's going on. Can't get out of bed before 9.
I know.
Which is unheard of for me.
I know. You're usually not like that.
So, I don't know. Training's fine. Maybe it's the deficit. Maybe my body's getting used to lower bit of calories.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I am in a calorie deficit now, and it's going well. That's going to transition us into how I want to start this podcast. 1 week in, do you have a big win so far in the new year? Do you have anything? It doesn't have to be a big win. It can be a win that you're proud of, a win that you want to tell the people about.
Well, I know I shared on last week's podcast that my goal for the new year is to set up some new habits.
Yep.
And it's going okay.
That's what I like to hear.
There are
Congratulations.
There are some that I do really well.
Okay.
Some of which are things I was already doing.
Those still count. We still count those as the win.
But that sounds so stupid when I put it that way. But I was expecting the first week to keep doing what I was doing and not remember to do any of the new stuff yet. I was expecting like a 50% hit rate as the dream for all the new stuff. I would say the ones that are going well, I'm probably at like a 70% hit rate, but there are several that are at like a 5%.
Like what? Well,
I've been struggling with the steps. I wasn't planning to do that yet.
Oh yeah, true. It's just
I was
steps.
starting with the steps, and that one's maybe at about 40%, which isn't terrible.
What do you think is stopping you from doing that? Because I think that
I know exactly what's
what
stopping me.
Time?
No.
Laziness? General
freezing
malaise?
Cold weather.
Oh yes.
It's been really cold. Like work is really busy, so I forget to take my breaks sometimes. Shame on me.
Yeah, I mean, you want to look at the definition of
I take my
workaholic.
lunch break, but I don't. I'm not good
there.
at taking my 15-minute breaks.
If you were in a union, you would be just the absolute nightmare of your union boss or union rep.
Yeah. Anyhow,
I'm willing to die for this company, boss. I
mean, I wouldn't go that far. But anyway, in the evening, so like the evenings are the times when I usually have gotten the last bits of my step. But like the last, I don't know, 2,000 or so. And that's about how much I'm falling short every day because I'm just too cold.
I mean, you're close though. So
I'm really close.
The other thing, our heat is broken. And if you've been a fan or you've seen any episodes of this,
the saga continues.
I'm pretty sure half of the episodes of this podcast are related to climate control being broken in our house. I guarantee you, go back and look at any of the ones that came out in July or August of 2023. We open with air conditioning still broken. It's hot. So now the heat is broken, so it's really cold. That's why I'm in.
So it's 60 degrees in our house
on a good day
every evening, which is difficult.
Sometimes it gets to 55.
And here's the real paradox about me so when most people walk, they get hot.
Yeah.
When I walk, I get cold.
She says she generates breeze.
I'm generating breeze. So it makes my nose really cold and my extremities are always really cold. My fingers, my toes, my nose, whatever. They get even more cold when I walk in the house.
Yeah.
And so my nose runs and I'm cold and I'm uncomfortable. Yeah. And so I've just been a little bit lazy. So I'm going to try and be more dedicated about walking during all of my work breaks.
Yeah, I think that's good.
My 15 in the morning, as much of my lunch break as I have left over after I'm done eating, and my 15 in the afternoon. And I think that'll get me to the place where I don't have to do as much walking in the evening once the sun has set and it's cold.
Fantastic.
That's the plan.
Well, that's a great, I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about this, and I have a win that I want and some things that I want to improve on, but I think it's a disservice to yourself to just set the goal and then never think about it again.
Right.
So I think talking about it even a week in and saying, okay, what's stopping me or what am I doing right?
Yeah.
And how can I improve or fix?
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think when you're trying to build a new habit, sometimes on a day-to-day basis, taking stock of what you did well that day and trying to replicate it, it's that important because it is, behavior change is so incredibly difficult that sometimes you do need to get that focused on, if I had walked in my morning 15-minute break, I would have hit my goal.
Yeah.
And then you can say, tomorrow I will walk in my 15-minute morning break and hit my goal.
And the other piece of it is I used to be really good about pacing back and forth while on the phone because I spent a fair amount of time on the phone.
Yes, that's true.
And so that's another, I've done that a lot today.
It is incredibly interesting, our subconscious approach when things are colder. You just don't move around as much.
No, you don't.
And, that's like a physiological thing. So, don't beat yourself up that you're not,
Yeah.
I feel that, and I love to move. I love to walk. And even still, I'm like, I don't want to get out.
And you love the cold.
And I do love the cold as well. But still, 55 in the house is a little ridiculous.
Yeah. But what's been going well for me with, as far as new habits, is the like taking care of myself kind of stuff. I'm trying some new skincare stuff.
You're doing great with that.
I've been doing really well with that. I've also been taking care of my nails. I've only picked 2 nails this year.
That is a big win.
It used to be like an every day, multiple times a day type of situation.
Champion.
So I'm really proud of that, actually.
That's great work.
I did pick one yesterday. But that...
Well, what... Is it stress related or
no, it's
related?
Totally absent-minded.
Yeah.
I'll like notice I'm doing it halfway through. I'm like, dang it.
Well, now I got to finish.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to leave a nail like halfway connected.
Off. Yeah.
But that's gotten a lot better.
That's good. Congratulations.
What's your win?
My win is I have gotten good control back over my diet.
Good for you.
Which, is a constant battle. It will be a lifelong battle for me. So the bigger win is kind of understanding that, yes, it will always be a battle. Early on in my weight loss career, in my weight loss journey, it's not a job, folks. I'm not getting paid. I wish I was.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel, and then I can get paid for weight loss. I have a video coming out, if this comes out on Wednesday, tomorrow, about the mental aspect of weight loss personally, but I also think it will be very, very helpful for people because I think we go so in depth on the physical side of things, calorie deficit, movement, all that, that we can sometimes remove the mental side of things. So to finish my thought, at the beginning of my weight loss journey, I assumed I'm going to lose the weight. And in the process of losing the weight, I will lose all of the negative food emotions and thought processes that I have built up over 26 years of my life.
Right.
That was the initial thought. Great. 6 months of a diet will fix all eating problems that I've ever had.
Surprise.
Obviously not true. Here I am, 3 years into the weight loss journey, almost 4, still dealing with the same mentality that got me in trouble in the first place. So no, and I've had a lot of great success. I've lost 70 pounds in a clip. I've lost 50 pounds in a clip. I've done decently well with maintenance. I haven't done great, but I know I can lose weight now. I know I can maintain. I know I can gain weight. I have never really come to the point where I've mentally gotten myself on cruise control. And I don't think that's ever going to happen for me. Maybe as I go through more cycles, it'll get easier.
Yeah.
But
I think never going to be easy.
Yeah.
I think it'll get easier.
But so the approach that I'm taking mentally is I have to battle this the same way that I battle my alcoholism. It's a daily thing. It's I can't just put myself on cruise control or I'm going to have way more food than I know that I need. And that's freeing. Making that decision, that's what really helped me get out of the rut with my drinking was this is an everyday thing. You cannot put yourself on cruise control. You have to actively work against this. So that's the approach I'm taking.
Yeah, good.
But the win in that is I've made choices to fast on Sundays. Mm-hmm. I've made choices to not eat past a certain time. Mm-hmm. I've made choices to eat as fuel, like thinking about food as fuel more so than anything else. So I'm eating pre-workout, post-workout meals that I know are going to set me up for success rather than enjoyment.
Right.
So those are the goals. So that's the big win. Something that I want to do better, waking up. Mm-hmm. Just getting back to like, I was really humming from like February of last year till about my competition. No, 2 years ago, 2022. Mm-hmm. I just had it. Everything was going really well. And I think that led to a little bit of burnout because I was so structured. So the goal is like, figure out a way to build in margin while also maintaining that 85% of where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm good on either end of the spectrum. I'm really good at all or nothing, and I'm really good at nothing. But I'm not good in the middle of things with everything.
Yeah.
Habits, everything like that. Like even enjoyment. Like when I was in film school, all I would talk to you about and all I wanted to talk about were movies. Mm-hmm. And then when that fell apart, when I chose to move away from that career, all I wanted to talk to you about was fitness. Mm-hmm. All I wanted to talk to you about was powerlifting. That's not entirely wrong, but I have a wide range of diverse interests, and I think other people do as well. So I'm trying to get better in the middle of things.
Yeah.
So that's the goal going forward.
I love that.
Yeah, but that's a good win. So far, so good. We're a week and 2 days into the diet, and everything is going well. It is going to be really touch and go to get down to weight.
Yeah.
Because I really did let myself go. I'm about 35 pounds off of where I need to be. And I talk about this a lot in the video that's coming out tomorrow. So please watch that if you don't mind. But I'm going into this with the understanding that if I compete in a weight class higher than the one I want to, that's okay.
Yeah. You'll still lift what you lift and get your baseline total.
So that's the main goal. I may be able to do it. I know I can do it if I do a pretty aggressive water cut, because I water cut 15 pounds last time.
Yeah, but I think that made you feel really depleted.
That was at a much lower body weight. So for context, I water cut from 255 down to 242. And I felt terrible. So I really didn't want to do that again. But I know I have that in me. And at a higher body weight, it's easier to lose a lot of that water. So I could conceivably cut from 285 to 275. 10 pounds of water at a higher body weight, not terrible. And I could go get an IV infusion at like one of those wellness centers to try and bounce back faster. So there's options. And I think I'll make the call, depending on how close I am, probably like 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Of whether or not I really want to go for my weight class or whether or not I want to feel the best going into the...
Right.
So the other thing I wanted to say was the training vlogs will start coming out next Monday. I just filmed one yesterday. And I'll go through a lot of this thought process there. So if you want specific, like how I'm approaching this meet, that's your place to go. Obviously, we'll talk about it on the podcast. There's only so many things we can talk about, but that is specifically going to be that.
Yeah.
So moving on.
All right.
Have you seen this new Netflix nutrition documentary? Have you heard of it?
Can you give me some more information?
It's on the twin study. I think it's called You Are What You Eat. We scrolled past it. Do you remember my initial comment?
BS.
Yeah, this is some absolute garbage. So the first thing I want to say is if you're going to a media conglomerate for your nutrition information,
might want to rethink that.
You've got to take a long, hard look in the mirror about where you're getting your information from.
Yeah.
You will be lied to overtly or through creative manipulation of the data.
I mean, they're packaging it to make it entertaining.
Exactly.
They're not packaging it in your science class.
Exactly.
At a university level. Like, the point is not education.
Right.
The point, like, that's a secondary point.
It is an entertainment
the point is
company.
entertainment.
Absolutely. So, for those of you that don't know, it is a creative... Now, full transparency, we have not watched it. I have read the study that it's based on. There's a fantastic podcast episode by Barbell Medicine on the twin nutrition study. If you Google twin nutrition study, Barbell Medicine, you'll be able to listen to the podcast. Those dudes are smarter than me. If you want more in-depth science, go listen to them. That's the disclaimer. The study that they're basing this documentary off of is already on shaky footing.
I feel like twin studies seem like they're going to be a really great idea, but a lot of times you can't control every aspect of somebody's actual life. So I think they run into a lot of issues there. They're pretty poorly controlled from what I understand.
It's the closest that we can get to the unethical studies done in the early 20s and 30s.
That's a good point.
It's the
closest we'll ever get.
Ethically,
but they have drawbacks.
Science has moved past the studies that will really give us what we want.
We've moved past the Stanford prison experiment.
Fortunately for the general mass of humanity, but unfortunate for an actual knowledge base. So now we have to make inferences. We have to do longitudinal studies. We have to do bigger cohort studies. All of these things are harder to do.
And we have to be aware of a lot of limitations.
Right.
That's the part of people don't read research articles.
Right.
People who read research articles often overlook the limitation section.
It is so easy to manipulate a data line in a scientific study to fit either side of your argument.
Yep.
So that's the one thing. So I'm imagining there's a lot of creative choices made in this documentary to pick and choose. Basically, it is trying to find the best diet for all of humans.
That's never going to work.
Based on an 8-week study.
What was the sample size?
I don't know. I think it was something like 20 sets of twins. It's not robust. It is not robust in any way, shape, or form. But this is what I'm saying. I don't really blame whoever developed this.
Do you know
it's an entertainment company.
What did they control for? Do you know?
I think it was carnivore versus vegan.
Did they control for exercise?
I don't know. I didn't.
I would be interested to know if they did that.
What I've seen is that they didn't measure some very important biomarkers: C-reactive protein, insulin, fasted insulin, some things that indicate longevity. They didn't check. So
that's a real bummer.
already we're on shaky footing.
That's
right?
A massive bummer. I'm sure it's a very entertaining limited series.
We have talked a lot. We've talked a lot about nutrition science and how it is already the Wild West. It is already very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into the weeds about the specifics of the study itself or the documentary. I want to take a 10,000 foot view. Netflix is the biggest media company we have on earth.
What about Disney?
Netflix is beating them.
Really?
Of course.
Between ABC, ESPN,
yes.
Disney. Wow.
In terms of popular, okay, you may be touch and go on either of those. Netflix is
huge. They're huge.
Go ask somebody on the earth, do you have a Netflix account? They're more likely to say yes. If you ask them, do you have a Disney Plus account? They're more likely to say no.
So here's how I would state that is Netflix equals streaming service. It's like how some people
Coke.
will
I want a soda. They'll ask for a Coke.
They'll say, I want a Coke. Okay, what kind? I want a Sprite.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
That's where we're at.
Oh, you should watch this show. Oh, is it on Netflix? It's on Hulu. People ask, is it on Netflix? Yes. Exactly. I accept your point.
So, when a company like that, with this much of a broad appeal and audience, puts out something that has claims to be scientific, we get into a lot of trouble. It's not entirely their fault. There's also a lack of scientific literacy in the general population based on schooling standards. The fact that science is boring a lot of the time. It just is.
Yeah.
God
bless,
a
little dry.
God bless these people that are actually doing these studies where they're looking at coefficients for 1% of 1%. It's boring. It's boring. And I love it. And I read these studies.
You can enjoy something and acknowledge that to most people it is a dry subject.
So when you get something packaged a little bit flashy and you present it as fact, which the scientific paper itself probably didn't present it as fact in the first place.
Right.
They said this leads us to a larger body of evidence towards which diet is going to be best for humanity. We just get into a lot of trouble. All I will say is you have to be extremely cautious. Even going to the source and reading the specific paper, you have to be cautious because how did they get their funding?
Is it a good journal?
Is the journal reputable? Was it peer reviewed? Was it
who paid for it?
Who paid for it? Was it even well designed in its study?
Yep.
But that doesn't play as well as when you open up Netflix and you see, oh my God, they've got a diet that's going to keep me alive for 20 more years.
It's a lot easier to just read the headline and
I'm not blaming anybody, folks. I fall into this category
Everybody
as well.
does it.
It's easy to not fall for the trap, but just to say, I don't want to do the rigorous study today.
Yeah.
I just want to sit and hear a line and repeat it and sound smart at a cocktail party.
Yeah, everybody's time is valuable. And we're off, like, we can't fully investigate everything that comes across our plate. It's just not possible.
It's not possible.
And that's fine.
But I think...
But at the same time, you need to recognize that you're not investigating everything fully.
Yeah.
And
a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
With everything, but especially nutrition and exercise science.
Yeah.
The science itself, the study of nutrition has not been around long enough, has not been, let's say there's been some bad actors in the study of nutrition.
Yeah.
A healthy dose of skepticism with all of this stuff.
And I think it's also important for the people out there who are experts in a particular subject matter. Yeah. There's always room for new evidence.
Right.
There's always room to be surprised.
That's the thing.
There's always room to have your conclusions modified a little bit based on new research that comes out and that is good quality.
I would be shocked if there is any type of disclaimer on this documentary about this is just another drop in the bucket of evidence. I would be shocked. Yeah. I imagine that it is packaged as the be all end all, quite like the Blue Zone garbage that they put out a couple weeks ago or years ago. And what was the other one? The Food Inc.
Yeah.
All of these are horrendous. I'm just going to come out and say it.
I think we should watch it and see.
I can't. It makes me so mad. It frustrates the ever-loving hell out of me.
Yeah.
It really does. I would, maybe I should try and take more of a nuanced approach to it and like more of a scientific eye. But I get so emotionally involved in people lying to people about their health.
Yeah.
It just frustrates me.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
I guess the optimist in me is like, well, maybe some people are going to watch this and become
curious.
No. The negative, like a few people will watch this and be totally brainwashed by it and choose a camp for diet and whatever. But hopefully most people who watch it will just eat some more vegetables.
Yeah.
Or eat a little bit less French fries.
I guess
that's my optimism.
It's a positive spin.
Talking is like most people aren't going to put in the effort to become like a die-hard carnivore or a die-hard vegan.
The realist perspective is they will watch this. They will say, oh my God, I'm not eating well. And then for about a week and a half, they'll try and change their diet. And then they'll go back to because like we always talk about, behavior change is hard.
Yeah.
So one documentary is probably not going to lead to change in either direction.
It is a bummer that people are getting misled and given information that's not totally high quality or accurate, but it's probably not going to have a huge population.
The real world,
effect.
I was about to say, the real world consequences of this documentary are probably nil on we live on a planet with 8 billion people, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's Netflix. Be careful. That's all I'll say. Be skeptical. Be a scientist yourself. We've got a question here. We're going back to Reddit because, it's the new year. So the fitness Reddit is popping
off.
This is a long one. Bear with me. Hey, everybody. I recently had my annual physical. I'm a bit bewildered by the whole experience, looking for some advice and perhaps a little perspective on what went down. I was pumped to discuss my daily activity, meals, and strategies for maintaining health at my age. However, my doctor provided quick checks, health status update, and a bold lose 15 to 20 pounds declaration. I'm 5'6", I power lift, I have a penchant for running and some yoga. So I wasn't expecting this curveball. Sure, shedding a few pounds is reasonable, but here's the kicker. The doctor suggested aiming for 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day. Hold up. I'm no stranger to fitness. With a solid routine of full body splits and regular runs, is this advice on target or am I risking injury with such a low calorie intake? I've been on this fitness journey for a while, and I'm no stranger to the web's education. But now at 30, I'm realizing I need a more personalized approach. Is there a place where I can have a comprehensive discussion about my health, taking into account family history, daily activity, and more? Did I expect a little bit too much from the physical? Wow.
I think the answer to that last question is yes.
Absolutely yes.
Physicians get a 15-minute time slot with you for your physical. The point of a physical is to go in, check your general health markers, make sure we're not like pre-diabetic or like going into heart failure or like, ruling out some really major chronic health conditions that might be developing.
Right.
Yes, you were expecting too much for your physical, but I think there's a lot of good points here.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe the physical activity, whatever you wrote in on your intake form, maybe didn't get looked at.
Right.
It seems like that information did not play in maybe to the recommendations.
I think
fully, which is a bummer, but okay.
Again, the large view, like you said, first of all, doctors don't have much time with you. That's why it's important to find a physician and kind of stay with them for the long term so you start to get perspective.
Yeah, I think the trade-off, when you're looking for doctors, and this is a trade-off that I'm dealing with myself right now, is you get somebody who runs on time and you get 15 minutes.
Right. Or they're always an hour behind schedule, but they get to know you and they spend time with you and they answer your questions. Right.
These really are your choices.
I think the other issue is you have to understand that the medical education system,
they don't focus on nutrition.
It's not very biased towards nutrition. And you're also just hitting the stopgaps for a little bit. Like until you specialize or until you choose, you're just kind of getting a general, this is how the body works.
Yeah.
You do a rotation in cardio, you do a rotation in podiatry, and then you pick which specialty. This is the American system, obviously. I don't know how any other system works. But from the conversations that I've had with doctors and just generally understanding how the system works, med school is a lot of, hey, here's this. Do you like it? Okay, specialize. Do a rotate,
Well, that's the thing. Med school is the first stop of your education to become a doctor.
Saying, even as you settle in.
Well, and then you subspecialize for several years.
So then we have an issue of, if you're a general practice doctor, people come in and assume that you've got a solid base of understanding on nutrition and exercise science, when in actuality, you probably don't.
You probably know enough.
A decent amount.
Yeah.
Enough to say, okay, this person needs to be in a calorie deficit. Let's put them at 1,300 to 1,500.
Yeah.
Which any reputable dietitian, personal trainer would probably say that's a bit low.
Especially considering his activity level.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's enough to say like, okay, you're carrying about 20 extra pounds. This puts you at risk for XYZ, which is the point of you coming in for the physical, is to make sure you're at the lowest possible risk for XYZ.
Exactly.
Therefore, I'm going to recommend losing a little bit of weight. When you think about it that way, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't want what I'm about to say to be anti-doctor.
We are pro-doctor.
I don't love doctors. I understand that they serve a vital function in our society.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I don't like doctors more so because I'm afraid of them.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of, I don't, Do not look to your general physician for nutrition and physical activity advice.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
I think they will give you the American Heart Association's recommendations.
They're going to give you the pat answer that is given to them by their governing body and board.
And I want to say that that's not bad advice.
Right.
It's also not
personalized.
Nuanced advice.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you might have been with your doctor for many years and they know you and they can maybe give you some more personalized recommendations. But if you're a new patient to a new doctor for a 15-minute physical,
right,
you're not going to get that new. You're going to get that general basic recommendation.
Yeah.
That's fine. If you want more nuanced information, if you want an evaluation focused on, you're going to need to go to a personal trainer, a certified nutrition coach, a nutritionist, a registered dietitian,
right,
something like pick your poison there. There's lots of people you can go to, but your annual physical is not going to give you that.
That's not the space for it. Right. That's the space for, hey, are you dying? Do you have something that's really a red flag?
And even that is not really a physical.
Right.
That's an office visit, which is billed differently.
Right. So I think a way to safeguard yourself, thinking specifically about if you're a power lifter and you're carrying a little bit of extra weight, but a lot of that is probably muscle tissue, a way to safeguard someone just looking at your BMI and saying, oh my God, you're overweight, is to ask for a waist to height circumference ratio.
Or waist to hip.
No. Check your weight and your height.
Oh, I thought it was waist to hip.
Well, that too. But waist to hip is probably going to be better for cardiovascular.
Oh, okay. I've just never heard of waist to height.
It could be waist to hip. I could be off my rocker.
I don't know.
I've heard of both. I don't know the validity of waist to height. I do know the validity of waist to hip ratio.
Yeah.
But that is a way for you to kind of block out some of the noise that comes with BMI. Mm-hmm. BMI can be great when we're talking about averages. Yeah. And when we're talking about sedentary individuals, BMI does have some validity in terms of giving us a picture of your general health.
Yeah.
If you know that you train pretty rigorously 4 to 5 times a week, resistance training, you eat a high protein diet, you are not a sedentary individual, asking for that waist to hip ratio can say, hey, I know a lot of this weight is muscle, so can you do this test on me? And that gives more outcomes towards cardiovascular issues.
Yeah.
Right?
My understanding is that relatively recently, doctors are not supposed to be using BMI really as much or take it more with a grain of salt, but most people are not going to be so quick to change their practice.
I worked in a law office with people that had been lawyers from 2000. They're still using Windows XP. Doctors are not changing this fast.
Right. Maybe younger doctors are going to adopt newer recommendations, but I think it's starting to change.
It's going to be 20, 30 years.
It's going to take some time, but
that's the wheels of bureaucracy.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
That's good news is that that's starting to change.
Yeah. I do think that BMI, like I said, when we're talking about averages and when we're talking about the general population in the US, the general population in the US is sedentary. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we should throw BMI completely out the window, but it's on you as the patient to say, okay, my BMI may put me in the overweight or obese category, but let me tell you, sir, that I exercise, resistance train, I can squat 600 pounds. I would like you to do a different test on me.
Yeah, I don't know that BMI is necessarily going to give us the best picture of my health.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I have been morbidly obese for my entire adult life on the BMI scale. Now, in 2017, I probably was accurately categorized as morbidly obese. However, in the year of our Lord 2024, I am no longer accurately categorized as morbidly obese based on the muscle to fat tissue ratio that I have built up over the past 7 years.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think it all comes down to you are your best advocate. Mm-hmm. So you have to do a little bit of pre-planning when you go into something like this. Mm-hmm. Understanding, yes, at a physical is not the time when you're going to get the personalized results that you were looking for. Telehealth has come a long way in doing this, where you can get a 30 to 45 minute block with a physician where you can talk about this type of stuff. Yeah. Look into that avenue. Yeah. But also come into the whatever office visit, physical, whatever it is, understanding what their responsibility is to you and what your responsibility as a patient is to them. If you come in with no idea, sure, you're going to get the pat answers, in and out in 15 minutes, turn your head and cough, and you're out of there. That's it.
Yeah.
You cannot be upset with that.
Right.
Unless you have a little bit more information to bring into the doctor.
Yeah, or even to if this is what you really want to know about, to ask. It's like, okay, this is a topic I really want to discuss. I know this is my physical, so now it's probably not really the time.
Is there another time?
Would scheduling an office visit with you be the best next step? Or is there someone that you could refer me to that specializes in this that would be a better person to talk to? And they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Like, doctors got into being doctors 90% of the time because they want to help you. Right? There are some...
I don't believe that. But
it's true.
Go ahead. I'm 50-50. I think a lot of doctors are in it for the money.
I think it depends on your specialty.
There you go.
I'm telling you what, family doctors or like
sure.
GPs, they didn't get into it for the money.
I think that they probably started med school with the idea of, I'm going to make a lot of money, and then just specialized lower.
I don't know.
But there's our biases for you folks. I really don't like doctors.
Yeah. I wouldn't listen to Jonah on this because he's a massive hypochondriac and is afraid of going to the doctor.
Yeah, true.
But I think the likelihood is your doctor would like to help you improve your health.
Sure.
That is their job.
If you want to have the positive view outlook on things.
So just to ask, is this something that's in the scope of this appointment? Mm-hmm. Do we need to make another one? Do I need to go to someone else? And can you write me a referral?
Yeah. I think that's great.
And the doctor will tell you. Maybe they'll tell you that's a perfect use of this time. Or they'll tell you, today's not the day, but talk to my front desk person and we'll schedule this type of visit and it's going to be great.
Right. So there you go. I thought that was a really interesting...
That is.
If we're going to ask people to take a hold of their own personal health...
They're going to need some advice.
They're going to need to know who to go to. We have registered dietitians for a reason.
Yeah. That's what they do.
That's what they do at all times.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, they're going to give you better advice because that's what they specialize in.
Right.
If you don't want to go all the way there, personal trainers, it's up in the air whether you get a good one or a bad one, but you'll know pretty soon whether you get a good one or a bad one.
Yeah.
A lot of them know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And they, again, want to help you get better.
A lot have been doing lots of continuing education for many years and are pretty well educated.
Baseline, if you want to just learn for yourself, YouTube is a fantastic resource.
Mm-hmm. Just choose your videos wisely.
I will refer back to the earlier portion of this podcast where I said a little bit of healthy skepticism is all. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
If it sounds crazy, it probably is. Don't listen to the girl this is a real girl who says you can eat 8 pounds of food a day and still have a healthy weight. You know what she's eating 8 pounds of?
Meat.
Watermelon. And I'm telling you what, this girl eats massive amounts of food. She eats a salad this big for dinner every night.
Dude, I would.
But I'm pretty sure she's malnourished.
Yeah.
She doesn't eat any protein.
So you're telling me she just eats...
I'll send you the video.
Watermelon and greens?
And potatoes and bananas. She's like, for lunch I ate 10 bananas and 3 sweet potatoes.
How much does she weigh?
She's probably built like me, but like if I was malnourished. She's very thin.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually really sad. Don't listen to that girl.
I am fascinated.
Oh, I'm going to send you this. And it's going to piss you off, man.
I guarantee.
You're going to be so mad. I've not sent it to you on purpose because I know
I'm gonna be mad.
It would send you off the ledge.
Maybe we'll talk about that next week. I need to become less emotionally involved and take more of a scientific perspective to be able to talk about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it does really upset me. Snake oil salesmen and like these people that, it just really upsets me. Charlatans, they really make me mad.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on YouTube with very extreme diets. I appreciate the ones, and I'm thinking of one lady in particular who I will also send to you. She is really good. She's on the carnivore diet, which is a little wackadoodle, in my opinion. But what she says is, I lost 150 pounds doing this.
Yeah.
I really like it. It works for me. Here's what I eat in a day, in case you're curious.
Yeah.
She's not saying everybody should eat a stick of butter for breakfast every day. But she's saying it works for me. If you want to see what I eat today, keep watching. I don't care what you do.
I definitely appreciate those types of people because
there's not many of them.
There are not many of them, and we are in a world of, diet tribalism. But the vegans, the carnivores, the keto people that say, hey, I this really worked for me. It may not work for you. Just that little bit of disclaimer is enough for me to be like, you're all right in my book.
Exactly.
Go ahead and keep spouting your nonsense.
Yeah. It's like, I am vegan. I love to cook. I make some really delicious recipes with plant-based protein. Keep watching if you want to see it. Yeah. I support that. I watch them. I make their recipes. I think they're great.
I'm down for that.
But to say that you should eat 8 pounds of watermelon, potatoes, and spinach a day
crazy.
Is just bad advice.
So she's probably taking in maybe like 30 grams of protein a day.
If.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't
she
live like that.
She doesn't even eat eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she allergic?
I didn't even see her eat a chickpea.
Is she allergic to stuff? Or she just does this on purpose?
I think she might just be anorexic.
Well, yeah.
Or orthorexic. Honestly.
There is a classification of eating disorder where...
I don't say that lightly, but that's what it comes across as.
Well... we will discuss more.
Yeah.
The sun's coming out.
Woohoo.
Wow. I had one more thing. You got time?
I got time.
We're going back to the well of relationship advice.
Oh, it's been so long since
we haven't done one of these in a long time. I read this and I thought this was really funny. Let's see if you think this is as funny as I thought it was. Okay. She's a 23-year-old female, boyfriend, 27-year-old male, gives me horrible gifts and I'm fed up. We've been together since 2019. Our first Christmas together, I got him an Alexa with the accessories to make the apartment a smart home.
Nice.
He moved into an apartment around his birthday, so I got him a microwave, toaster, silverware, etc. His most recent birthday, I got him a golf set because he became obsessed with golf. Our first Christmas together, he gave me a video game and the money he owed me. For my birthday, he got me another video game. Now, she could like video games. She doesn't say. I would imagine she doesn't say, but I would imagine she does. Okay. This is the kicker. This one is so funny. My birthday and Christmas is coming up, same day. I bought him a signed Steelers football because that's his favorite football team. He just told me the gift that he's getting me, and I couldn't stop crying. He went on a solo vacation earlier this year, and my birthday present is that he printed the pictures from his vacation and put it in a photo book. This is his gift to everyone. His mom, sister, brother, friends, and me. He mentioned it before, and I politely told him I did not want that. I actually told him I would hate it, and he laughed it off. I've been telling him since we started dating that I like jewelry and would love that as a gift. He tells me he hates going into jewelry stores, and more recently told me, you already have so much jewelry. Why would I buy you more? At this point, it feels disrespectful. And after finding out my gift today, I told him to just not get me anything. It literally feels like he doesn't care about me or my feelings. He calls me materialistic, but because I like to buy myself things. And I feel like if I tell him how I truly feel, he'll just call me materialistic more. Or maybe I am materialistic. Maybe this is a sweet and thoughtful gift and I ruined it for him. Holy cow, dude. The absolute audacity to go on a vacation by yourself.
I know.
Print out those pictures and then say, here's your Christmas and birthday gift.
Yeah, I wonder what the circumstances of the solo vacation were.
Dude.
Oh, man. I think...
This is a 27-year-old man, too. This is not like this is like a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
This is an adult human being. I'm running out of sympathy at 27.
Yeah, 27, you should be figuring it out, especially if she's telling you what she wants.
Dude, because as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's not communicating. Maybe she's just taking it and saying, oh, this is so nice. And so, listen, I'm a man. If I give you something and you say, wow, I like this, that's what you're getting for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Some iteration of that.
Sure.
Because I hit the nail on the head and there you go. Gift giving is difficult, especially for people that enjoy getting gifts.
Yeah.
But then she clarifies, oh no, I am telling him.
Well, so that's something that I did want to say. So if I just told you, I like jewelry, I would like jewelry for Christmas. Would you know what to get me? No.
But we have a healthy relationship, in which I would say, you're not giving me enough here. I need, you want a necklace, earrings?
Send me a
link.
link.
Do you like gold? Well, you and I are on terms where we just send each other links.
And we're not big gift people. So I don't care if I know what I'm getting.
Right.
But maybe, okay, here's a secondary option. I like jewelry and this is a store that I love.
Yeah.
Or this is a brand that I love.
Right.
And I like everything they have.
Right. Great
point.
One. That's fantastic.
Pick one.
Fantastic advice.
I'm thinking of some friends of ours who they had like a jewelry store that they loved.
Yeah.
And their boyfriend knew that and got them a bracelet for Christmas. They're thrilled.
You keep the magic alive. There's a surprise involved, but you know that your partner's not going to screw it up, you know, and get you something absolutely terrible.
Right.
That's a great way to do things.
Mm-hmm. Or go on a vacation together. Dude. If you want to go on a trip so bad, take her with you. Let that be it.
You and I are different in this way. There's a lot of couples that, I'm not going to say this is bad, but they need their time by themselves in terms of like, and we do, but that's like 2 hours for me to watch a movie by myself that you're maybe not interested in, or like play a video game while you sit and I'm focused on the video game, but you're still there. Right. There are some people that think that
they need alone time. That's fine.
I'm going on a boys trip to golf for 5 days and they go, I'm not judging that. Dynamic. That's fine. That's cool. But then to print those pictures out and say, Merry Christmas.
I bet his mom is going to love it.
I don't even think his mom would love. Why would his mom care about that?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think it's a very strange gift.
Also, he's given it to his brother and his sister.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to care.
That's fabulous. I just think maybe this guy is not 100% sure what a gift is.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not fully understanding what needs to take place here.
Yeah. Gift giving is hard because there's people who love to receive gifts. There's people who love to find the perfect gift. Yeah. And there's people who really struggle to find a good gift. Me. That's me too. I have a really hard time. We're not gift-giving people. And so, but one of the things is my dad loves to receive gifts, which is great. That's something that he loves. But he's got like a running list of like random stuff that he wants.
That's the way to do it.
And it's a running list all the time. Anytime you go onto our Amazon family account, there's just a bunch of saved items. Yeah. All the time. That is and it makes it so easy.
Huge props on that. That's great. That's the best way to do it.
He never knows when he's going to get what off of his Amazon wish list. So there's still an element of surprise. Yep. And I mean, for Christmas, I got him one thing off of there. And then that kind of is, I should get this to go along with it. So there's, you can kind of riff off of it. But if you really love gifts and there's something that you want, make a running list. Tell your people. Nobody's going to read your mind.
As with all of these, communication is incredibly important. I would say as you begin to get a little bit more serious with someone in your relationship, you've got to establish, are we gift-giving people or are we not gift-giving people? Yeah. And hopefully you will both come to terms with that. But if you've got one gift-giving person and one not gift-giving person, you got to
find a way to make it work.
You have to figure out, okay, how do we meet expectations on both sides? Yeah. Right?
And there's a way to give gifts that aren't materialistic, quote unquote. Right. You can go to a concert together. You can...
This guy kind of sounds like a bum, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I don't like to pass judgment on him, but I don't know this person. He sounds like a bum.
Honestly, he's either...
clueless.
He either is a bum or he's clueless. Right. And I think he might just be clueless because, 27-year-old guys are still a little bit clueless. On the clueless side. Right. So he might
Maybe we give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm kind of leaning towards giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm giving him the bum stamp. But this just sounds terrible.
I think he's really got to step up though. And figure it out.
Yeah.
This is clearly a big problem.
Yes. For sure. If you're posting this on Reddit, this is really eating you up inside.
Clearly an issue.
Right.
So you got to, and if she wants to find a way to be surprised, you got to find a way to narrow it down a little bit. Yeah. Make a Pinterest board of what kind of jewelry you like, or what kind of clothes you want for Christmas, or what video games you want. Make a Pinterest board for inspiration. Yeah. And email it to him, and then he can take that to the mall and ask a very nice sales lady for some help.
I think the issue is, we are sold like this romantic vision of like, these Hallmark movies where the guy gets the perfect gift.
No.
That's in the script, folks. They can't read your mind. We have to come to terms with like human beings are human beings. Yeah. You got to give them a little bit of help and then they'll figure it out from there.
And sometimes you got to spell it out for people.
But if they're not willing to even do that, like give him another chance, obviously, make a list. Do whatever. One of the things we talked about, send him a link to a store. And if he's still not willing, then that's a major issue. And it may be grounds for separation.
Yeah. If it's really that big of a deal.
Right.
And I can't really empathize with that because I don't really
we don't care
that much about gifts.
Have never been really important to us.
But there are things that are important to us that would be like
huge deal breakers.
It would be a compatibility issue.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
well, and gift giving is one of those like love languages that, used to be so popular. And like, it's okay for that to be the way that you feel loved.
Right.
That's not,
absolutely.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
That doesn't make you materialistic.
Right. And he should not.
It's probably it's a misunderstanding. He's misunderstanding that, I think.
I think he's trying to cover himself with the materialistic line of being like, I'm lazy. I don't want to do this. You're being materialistic.
Well, it might also be he knows he's bad at gift giving and he knows it's important. And that's stressful. Because that's how I feel.
You're looking at it as he's not that bad of a guy. I'm coming at it as he's a clown. These are two different perspectives.
Yeah.
Both have merit.
We don't know which one is true.
So we've given you everything we can about it. It comes down to communication, as we always say.
Yeah. What you're doing isn't working.
Right.
so you've got to figure out how to do it better.
A lot of these relationship advice questions are very, very serious. I love it when there's one that's just no stakes.
What's your favorite?
Hilarious.
What's your favorite gift he's ever given her? Mine is the money he owed her.
That's awesome. Because that's first Christmas together. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah. That was their first. He gave her a video game, and then he goes, "Here's the $20 I owe you for the pizza." It's like fantastic. But see, that's the thing. A dumb guy just does that without thinking twice about that.
That's why I think he's clueless. Only a clueless person would do that.
That's one on the clueless.
That's the most boneheaded thing I've ever heard in my life.
So funny. I think the photo album is just the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I went on a vacation without you, but don't worry. Here are the pictures. Dude, that's the best gift ever.
Yeah, I think he's just boneheaded.
All right, folks. That's it. That's a podcast from the Deep Dark Dungeon.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. As always, shout out to our Discord.
Yeah.
If you're posted in there, I really appreciate you. Join the channel, the community, subscribe, all that jazz. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
What's the worst gift you've ever been given? If you've made it this far, please comment on the worst gift that you have ever been given, because that'll give us a nice chuckle, and we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Yeah.
Video about being fat coming out tomorrow. Please watch it. I think you'll like it. Training vlogs coming out on Monday. Please watch it. I think you'll like it. Anything else to say to the people?
Have a great week, people.
Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you later. Bye.